streaming. Alrighty. Kangaroo 01. Apply. Someone just... Oh, he just died. Okay. Don't worry about him. Let's make sure we got full fuel. I think the setup comes without full fuel to start with. Yeah. The net. Alright, full fuel. Make sure tech passes. Apply and close. Alrighty. Bathurst, full fuel. Let's try it. First thing I'm going to do before I even start moving is turn up my traction control and ABS because I have cold tires. And that seems like a good idea. Make sure I got my chat windows in the right place so I can, in case anyone's in chat. But TC and ABS. Easy peasy. Put on your pit limiter. We go. I've even got my telemetry right there. So we are on very cold tires. So everything that I do, I am going to try and do very smoothly. And look how little I have to turn the wheel to just get it moving down the straight. So you can imagine when you actually start turning and doing stuff, you can really overdrive the car. So we're going to brake early. Very softly, very smoothly. Very slowly. You're not going to get a good lap on your first lap. Just very smooth, very slow. You are doing an out lap. You're not racing anybody. I'm going to completely lift around this first corner while my tires storm. You can still see also with the Corvette, it's really nice because everything's blue. Most cars will tell you basically, hey, I'm not warmed up yet. And they'll be very polite about it. I'm barely turning the wheel. Just trying to slow it on down. And this part's a little tricky too. You want to brake real early when you're on cold tires. Nice and soft. Nice and soft. Really get a good exit there and boom. Pretty much your first lap done. You could probably worry about the end of the lap if you want, but it really just comes down to survive that first lap, and then survive the second lap. And keep pushing the car until you feel it is comfortable enough to start putting down some good laps. So braking early. Oh, see? I broke too hard and I lost it. Now still on cold tires. Murder. And that's a good segue into, if you're about to lose control of the car, let go of brake and gas. Don't try and hold one or the other unless you're about to hit a wall, because you want to maintain as much control as possible. So once again, brake early, brake soft. If you just start doing this, you lose control. Just let go. Let it coast. Let it do its thing. So my tires, my rears have just come up to a little bit of temp, but they're still not warm enough to be able to take this at full speed. So again, early brake, smooth controls, smooth gas, smooth brake. Braking a little early here. Smooth. Just like my brain. Smooth.
C. Sent can confirm.
I am smooth. lift. Let's see, now we've got a car coming up. Just let him pass. He seems to be either a lot more warmed up or is a lot faster than we are. We're not fighting him, it's lap 2. This is especially prevalent at Bathurst. Brake in a straight line, especially on that downhill section. You want to try and straighten out the car as much as possible before you brake anywhere. As you saw in my last lap, if you try to brake while turning, you're dead. You're dead, kid. So here, straighten out the car and then come to a brake. Don't turn until you've finished braking. And then slowly let onto the gas as you come out of the exit. And brake. And a straight line. Let go of the brake before you turn. Now, as you start getting better with the car, or the tires start getting warmed up, you can try to trail brake. Essentially just means applying just the tiniest bit of brake while you're going through a corner to get more turn. When you get to really high levels of racing, the people will tell you you use the brake to turn the car, not the steering wheel. And I'm still trying to learn that. It's a lot harder than it sounds. So we're going to brake early. Still cold tires. You can see my tire, all 4 of my tire temps inside are still cold.
More or less.
But I do feel that they're a little bit warmer, so I am going to push it just a tiny bit more. Remember, I've also still got full fuel, so I'm a lot heavier, which can be both a blessing and a curse. It means I want to have more momentum in turns, so it's going to be harder to turn the car, but it means I'm going to be able to brake easier, so I have more weight. But it also means you can lock up easier and cause ABS easier. Oh. And see, he probably pushed the car too hard while still in cold tires, so he died. It's that simple.
C. Said or is having sandwich.
Or is having a sandwich with no front bumper. So you can see, I wouldn't say they're warmed up. I usually wait till they're about 80 to call them warmed up. But both my left side inner tire temps, or I think those are the pressures actually, are not up to stuff yet because they're still warming up. So I'm not going to try and really push the car until I feel more comfortable with it. So I'm still going to brake early. This is now lap 3, and I'm still babying the car around the track, waiting for my tire temps to come up. Because if I don't, if I just do this... Okay, well that was a bad example. But you see... I was trying to spin it out, but... if you were to do that...
Said the car is stupidly stable.
Yeah. Now, in this corner, you can absolutely spin it out. This is probably the hardest corner for most people. My advice would be to brake before, like I just did there, and let go of the brake. Don't try and trail brake through it if you're not comfortable with it yet. Just get it to a point where it's slow, let off the brake, and let the car turn. You can work on braking mid-turn later, but I would say the first step, just try to get it through a corner. Lift a little bit because we're still on cold tires. Lift a little bit because we're still on cold tires. Brake early because we're still on cold tires. Softly. I'm not even using, I'm using less than 10% of my brake to get through that whole section. Brake softly. I'm using less than 50% of my brake to just come to a complete stop. If you slam on the brakes right there, you're going to get ABS or you're going to spin out. That's the other thing I've struggled with for the longest time was you don't need to use your entire brake. I used to slam on the brake as hard as possible because I thought that's how driving was. That's how you're supposed to do it. But no, like, you very slowly bring it up. I think I used 60% of my brake right there. Could I use a little bit more? Yeah, probably.
Context. I think Short and Fran are both consistently doing 204s and 5s. Other guys are doing between 6 and 8, but it's just a matter of consistency for them.
That's fair. Now that my cold tires are kind of warmed up, I'm going to start pushing. I like to brake on this little patch of asphalt. Come down to about third, roll it through, get on the gas early to get a good exit. Here I like to cut and then brake in a straight line a little bit, let go, start giving it throttle halfway through the turn. And here, once the car is warmed up, on full fuel it's a little sketchy, you gotta watch it, but you should be able to flat foot it all the way around. Maybe lift just a tiny bit there if you're not feeling comfortable. Lift here just a tiny bit over that hump. Full throttle all the way back out. And then here it's very, very important you brake soft, 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 soft. Get a good exit into that little dip. It gives you a ton of traction. Lift, brake in a straight line, brake in a straight line. Hug that corner, throttle out. I don't know how Jimmy Broadbent talks to himself like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable saying what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than people. I'm just explaining what I'm doing. It just feels weird. Light brake. I try to do it with my flight stuff too. Just explain what I'm doing. And it helps a little bit. Ease into the brake. Get a good exit.
7.658. That was your fastest lap of the session.
And as you keep getting your tires a little warmed up, start getting off of fuel, start getting more comfortable with the track, every lap should be a little bit better. Until you finally hit a point where it's like, okay, well now I'm doing 204s, can't really get better than that, so then you try to keep it consistent. And this guy clearly is struggling with the car, so I'm not going to try and get beside him. I'm going to wait. It's either A, he's going to kill himself, or me.
Clear.
I'm really surprised I avoided that. Always slow down for incidents. My tires should be well more than warm now, so we're gonna start pushing a little bit more. But remember, we've still got what, 25 laps of fuel on board, so we've got 25 laps to hit our stride. Plenty of time.
11.0.
I also tell people, don't compare your time with your fastest ever time, compare your time with your session best. Because there's so many factors that go into what your time will come out as. The track wear, the heat of the track, the heat of the day, the humidity, the wind direction, just the amount of fuel that you have on the car, other cars on the track, everything makes your times appear different in every session. So don't focus on the fact that, you know, 2 sessions ago, oh man, I got a 203, so I got to get a 203 this time. It makes you overdrive the car spectacularly.
Car stopped ahead. Go right.
Just focus on getting a better-ish lap time every time you do a new lap in that session. Because eventually you'll reach a point where you start to overdrive it because you're over pushing the car, and then you'll start losing lap times. And then you got to find that happy middle ground between pushing it and letting it simmer. Claire's in the background like, I already know this, Arb, shut up. Feel like I go in a second there, but it's probably fine. Luna.
0.578. New fastest lap for you.
Why is she honking?
C. Said the final left onto the downhill straight. You come left a lot to straight line brake. You don't prefer to squeeze before the previous corner. Release
Nope.
then stay right to open up that last.
Nope. I prefer whatever I can do to get it as straight as possible, as it feels the most comfortable for me. People's lines at Bathurst can be very different. Do what makes you feel good. Like, some people come way out here and then turn really hard into it, and that's the optimal line. But for me, as you saw, my back end almost came out right there. So I like to try and hug it a little bit more and brake a little bit earlier and a little bit softer, because I'm not an e-sport guy. I'm trying to just survive at the moment. And I'll show you what I mean on this corner too. As long as this Porsche doesn't try to kill me again. So I like to go wide and then turn into it. Try and hug the wall. Because if I do anything other than that, I feel like I'm going to lose the car and the wall. Especially the later in the stint that I get with a full fuel stint, the tires start to really go, and that turn gets super sketch. And this guy is not going to let me pass, is he?
Go left. 8.414.
Oh, why is he saying sorry? Don't say sorry, buddy. Oh, he just hit a wall. Poor guy. He's probably just trying to learn the track.
C. Said apologizes at the cost of death, face with tears of joy.
Yeah, there's a little bump on the track right there when you do that. outside method that you just kind of lose grip for like half a second, and if you're overturning the wheel, when you get that grip back, it's gonna swing your whole car from the rear. That sucks. Yeah, I could definitely get a better exit out if I go into that downhill section a bit more wide and then turn into that corner. But the whole outer part of that corner,
Said no, I agree. Feels safer.
it feels way safer. Because I also don't being that close to the wall. If I do brake too late, or I do have a problem with like tire heat or something, and I wasn't noticing it, then it gives me a little bit more room to try and stop the car. Especially when there's other cars on the track. If I'm chasing somebody, I'm not going to go onto that outside line.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
C said, I feel like if you try and hug right, the chance of getting on the brake while turning and overdriving the front will just send you into the wall.
Yeah. And like the track is just not really hot, but it's a little warm. I've got still almost a full tank of fuel, so I don't plan on hitting below a 205 for a while. Like I'm gonna sit pretty at 206. My times will come up naturally as the car starts to get lighter, or I start getting comfortable with how the track state is. That curb will kill you. Do not go wide there. We've died so many times last year because of that curb. Like if I go wide, I feel like I can't brake as well. And like I lost time doing that, trying to try it. It's okay to try things. It's not okay to do dumb things. If you want to try and get a different line, try it. See if it works. Maybe it'll be better for you. Maybe it'll be worse. As long as you don't crash the car. But I like to stick to an endurance pace. Like this is about as fast as I would go if I was in an actual endurance race for the 12-hour. Like this is a perfect pace for me. Especially with my fuel at where it is. Alright, now that my tires are pretty well warmed up, I'm going to turn my TC and ABS back down to 3. That will give me a little bit more speed out of corners and a little bit more heat in my tires. So we got to keep an eye on that. I thought this hosted session had a lot of people in it. It seems really empty. I feel like I should have just done an AI race. That's okay. I feel like I still need some practice by myself anyway, so.
6.684. Just set your fastest lap of the session.
So, you're watching this and you're going, man, why are you so slow? Why are you not hitting 203s, 204s? Why aren't you making the car go faster? I'm not doing that because I still got a lot of fuel on board. And
Said knew this is perfect. Teach them slow. Face with tears of joy.
if you're hitting 204s right now on this kind of track where it's this hot out and you have this much fuel, you are overdriving the car. You are wasting tons of rubber on your tires for not a lot of gain because, whoa, too early. By the end of this stint, you're going to be going, man, why is the car so loose? Why am I dying? Why am I hitting walls? The answer is typically you overdrove the car on the first half of its fuel stint. If you can hit 206s, maybe a 205 if you're feeling brave, but 206s are probably about accurate. And keeping it solid there for most of the laps you do, you should be fine. But if you're hearing a lot of tire scrubbing, if you're hitting ABS on every corner, if you're hitting traction control in every corner, because you're not being smooth with your inputs, then you're going to be overdriving the car a ton, getting a ton of heat in your tires, and obliterating the rubber. So by the time you get down to your last 5 laps of fuel, you're going to be going, what's going on? That was Claire saying that. Oh my god! I don't know. I'm being weird.
C. Said I hate ARB.
I concur.
C. Said face with tears of joy.
New fastest lap for you.
Okay, there's literally nobody else on track. That was one person.
C. Said sad, but is early IG.
Well, the session said like 30 people were signed up. But I guess they were all earlier and left already.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
My biggest problem with Bathurst is that it is a focus heavy track. I would say probably just as much as like the Nordschleife or more, especially through these really tight sections. And after about a full stint near the end, I start to just wander, which is a really bad habit. And you can't wander at all. If you wander for even like half a second, you're not focused on every braking point, every line for every lap. You're gonna hit a wall. And it happens to me so often that near the end of the stint, I just start losing focus. So I've got to keep myself focused, which is much harder than it sounds.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Nope, that's an off track. And see, when you start to lose it, just let go.
7.047.
Try to steer the car. Don't overcorrect. Just let it do its thing. Wasn't happy with something I did. I think that time it was because I was trying to brake too hard in the middle of the turn, and I just lost grip. Nope. A little wall touch. So we're coming towards the end of the stint. We've got 12 laps left. So I'm a little under halfway. And as my car starts getting lighter, and as my tires start getting worn, I'm going to have to start doing the same thing I was doing, which is being a little bit slower, braking a little bit earlier, and finding my new grip limits, because it changes every lap. You have to be constantly aware of, okay, what am I overdoing this time? What am I underdoing this time? What can I do more of, less of? And right now, I notice I'm braking too hard. I've gotten too uncomfortable with the car. So I'm going to reset my braking points. No ABS that time, that's good. We had a timeout, that's good. Car on my left, not good.
On your left. Keep to the right. Clear on the left. Six point 037. Just set your fastest lap of the session.
I don't really know what other kind of advice I have left. I mean, probably the biggest one is don't compare yourself to other people. Seems like a really easy one to say. Should only judge your times based on your current session and what you know you are capable of. Like, there's people in this session doing 201s, I'm pretty sure. But you don't know their story. Like, they could be... let me actually verify that. 203. Okay, so there's no 201s in here. But there is a dude doing 203s. There's a lot of dudes doing 203s. But you don't know, are they on qualifying laps? Are they aliens? Are they just really, really good at what they do? Are they in different cars, different setups, different... whatever the case may be. So going through and being like, oh man, I really need to be hitting 203 because all these guys are doing it. No. You need to be hitting a better lap than your previous lap. And if you can't do that, try to understand why. Because it's not necessarily because you're slow. It could just be because, oh, my tires are worn. I have done a full stint. So yeah, I'm not going to be faster than I was 5 laps ago because I have no tires left. Or, hey, there's traffic. So of course I'm not going to be doing really well because I'm stuck behind this person, or I've got a guy on my tail, which also counts as traffic. If somebody is trying to get past you, behind you, and they're being really aggressive and really fast, and you're trying to basically defend, that's going to make you slower. So just focus on what you can do to better yourself based on your own driving. And don't worry about other people. Like, if you watch this and you go, man, you're so fast, even though I'm doing, you know, 205s, 206s, but if you're like, this is so smooth, this is so great, how do I do this? It's like, well, maybe you can't. So don't worry about it. Worry about what you can do. Focus on things that you think are going to make you better for your lap times and your session, with your track temps and your weather. And, I mean, really your setup too, because the setup may not work for everybody. I also try to tell people to avoid VRS setups or HIMO setups or any of those paid setup shops. I know we use them for events because we don't really have someone to build cars for us. But especially when you're first trying to learn, I would say try to avoid them, because not every setup fits every person, and some of those setups are really loose and really hard to control, and even the safe setups are sometimes too safe. There is a thing is too safe. If the car is understeering through every corner, especially at Bathurst, that sucks. You don't want to understeer through every corner. You want to have the right amount of grip for the car without, you know, throwing it through a corner too fast. But I don't know, focus on what you can do to improve yourself. So like right now, what I'm thinking about, what I'm failing to do is trail brake. It's been my big failure as a race car driver is knowing how to trail brake properly and over braking. I over brake all the time. And even though it seems like I'm still braking really soft, every single time my ABS kicks up, I can feel it because it makes my car understeer. Like right here. I completely understeered into that corner because I braked way too hard on that downhill because I get nervous. So, I don't know. Just do what you can do. Yeah. I sound like a pompous asshole.
See, Buddha Arb.
I mean, every advice I give is something that I've struggled with in the past. It all comes from a place of, like, I was doing that at some point. I used to look at other people's times and wonder, you know, why the hell can I not hit this? I feel like I'm hitting every apex, everything's perfect in my car, why am I so slow? And then past that point, I used to look at my own lap times. I used to be like, I just hit a 2:03 a couple sessions ago. Why can't I do that again? What is wrong with me? What am I failing to do? And I would overdrive the car because I'm trying to hit this imaginary point that I'm never going to be able to hit in that current session because of either different setup, different track, whatever, different people. And it used to really bother me. And then now I'm realizing, oh, well, not to be rude, but nobody else matters. And all that matters is that I'm taking in the track for what it is today and doing my best to drive the car to its limits around this track. And if I come back tomorrow, I'll do the same thing. It's always a new learning experience. And then it comes down to traffic. I really wish I could show some traffic management, but Bathurst isn't really the best place to do that. This traffic is like the only thing I seem to be decent at.
Six point five six five.
It's a 2.6565. Nice.
Five point six two six. That was your fastest lap of the session. Just off the head. Go right. 5.571. Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Just a dude casually upside down on the side of the road. Nothing to be worried about. He's just taking a nap.
Said he snooze. It's Australia.
He's just attaching his ground harness.
You got about 5 laps of fuel left. Five point 973. Slow car ahead. Car on your left.
Oh,
Clear on the left. Car right.
was not expecting that.
C. Said muted at MO but still watching.
I don't know if I got damage from that.
This is over. Head on in.
C. Said he survived.
I survived.
C. Said I have audio again.
Welcome back.
C. Said short watched last bit. Says thank. Arb Foss.
Did he watch me almost crash into a wall?
C. Said you I don't think so.
Okay, good.
C. Said but almost is better than DED beaming face with smiling eyes.
That is correct. It is not DED. I had one more lap of fuel, but pretty much a full stint.
C. Said how much are you using per lap? 3.4-ish?
3.45. It says last lap. I'll have to see. I'm gonna take this video. I'm gonna take the Garage 61 telemetry and stuff. I'm gonna share that, and then I'll tell you everything.
C. Said Pell liked car I saw.
Yes.
New fast flat for you.
Wait, what? New fastest lap.
Pit box
Said
in
what?
10.
C. Said face with tears.
I guess because you cut that whole corner and then you cross the finish line as you basically enter the pit. It's kind of funny.
1. Right here. All the damage is repairable.
Alright, so I did tap the wall a little bit. It's okay. Oh, easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I gotta say thanks before the session closes. Thanks. Okay. Alright, quit. Because I want to look at the telemetry now, because it's always fun to look at telemetry, like from a first lap versus a last lap kind of thing. See where you started braking differently. So I'm gonna
C.
pull
Said
up.
Yo's I think most useful thing is Arb Foss, but notice is not trying to do fastest hot lap time.
Right. Alright, let's see. Garage 61. Well, because what I want to show is not really fast, but consistent. Because that's really the only thing that matters, is consistency. You can see down the line, like my first couple laps, I think that like I was really going slow. I kind of got there's some yellows for cars, but I was trying to really keep it on track. But you should see green bars on almost every lap, because that means that you're getting a better lap just by being a little bit faster. Purple is always nice to get a purple, but at the very least it should be green sectors on almost every lap, because that means you're really doing what you can do to push the car. My fastest lap should be near the end of the stint. So if we take my fastest lap, hit analyze, and we go back, and it will take, I don't know, let's do one that's like up here or something. A 206.6, sure. Take that, analyze, go look at it over here. And you'll see that, let's put that there. And I don't know why it doesn't show. Okay, anyway. So through the curvy bits, let's see. Oh, I want to zoom into sector 2. So I'm a little bit, blue is my faster time. So I kept my speed. I braked later, really, is what it looks like. I braked a lot later right here. And then as I started to turn in, this is my brake pressure. So I braked later and I braked harder because my tires weren't cold anymore. And you notice how there's no ABS here. Like if you look over here, you can see ABS triggering on these little bars, but you see there's no ABS. So I got an extra, I don't know, 20% of brake. Even though I braked later and I gave it more brake, it didn't hit ABS, which is why I got such a good run through there. And now not braking ABS could have been because on these earlier laps, maybe I was hitting ABS because I still had full fuel.
You know you're not streaming, right? Beaming face with smiling eyes.
I'm streaming on YouTube, but I suppose I'm not sharing my screen with you. That's right. Here you go. Share screen.
See, said Aok.
There you go. So I got like a 20% brake. Let's see. It shifted a little bit later. RPMs are a little different. But like my steering wheel angle was pretty much the same. This little bit out, there's always a sketchy piece where you can sometimes see me like twist the wheel back just a tiny bit. This is that bump that I was talking about, right on that exit. You can even see where it'll lose it just a little bit.
For some reason it's still loading. See, said DW.
I wasn't worried. Don't worry. This fast bit always gets me. You can see my braking is a little different. Here, I don't know what I did here. I gave it a blip of throttle a little later.
With yourself, ATM is all beaming face with smiling eyes.
I am chatting with my stream. That exists.
Said hi, Stram.
I'm going over my own telemetry. I don't know. It really just comes down to I was braking a lot heavier and a lot more. Except for here, it looks like I lost a lot of time because I braked into this turn instead of smoothly letting it off. And I don't know. It's just hard to judge these turns too, because like if you look at sector 5, like this is all ABS. There's no way you can't not hit ABS through here. So it's hard to really tell like if it's really me because I'm hitting ABS or because like this is still a smooth brake, but even though I have constant brake pressure, you're still gonna hit ABS. It's so bumpy there and it's so wild. And this turn, you want to see no ABS, no ABS, no ABS, no ABS. Good, this good. Anyway, if I go back to my lap, where my tires at? Because I did pit. Show me my tires. Look at that. My lowest tire was 85, 84. My lowest tread percentage, no, 83. My lowest tread percentage was 83. So the full stint and me being, I mean, feel like I was being a little too gentle at times, but 83, I still used quite a bit of wear. So I think on Daytona, we were like hitting 93 on a full stint, but here, you know, you're really scrubbing those tires. So, and then fuel. It says my overall average was 3.38, but my most was 3.48, and my minimum was 3.23 on lap 1. So I would say 3.4 is probably right. Ooh, the track was 37.8 C. What is that in American units? 37.8 C to F. 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So the track was 100 degrees. So that right there, I can tell you, will be the reason why I don't get a 203 or a 20 whatever. Like 205 on a 100 degree track, that is great. I also had a 22 kilometer an hour wind coming from the south. So if we look again at our analyzed laps, and I think this is north facing. Um, we'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is facing north. So a south-southwest means it's coming from this direction.
C. Said how much does that affect things like Mustang brick?
Oh, quite a lot. That means this entire straight. So sometimes I'm able to hit sixth gear, but this entire stint I couldn't get above fifth. So I was getting a headwind down the entire first straight, trying to get trying to get into turn two. Um, so I never was able to hit fifth gear because the wind was just basically stopping me. But on the contrary, this whole side coming down here, I probably was hitting a new top speed because I was going so fast. Yeah, this was saying I'm going what 268, 269, all the way up into there, and usually I don't think I hit 269. Like that's a pretty fucking fast. This was without draft too, just booking it. So that 22 kilometers an hour will affect your lap times. It'll affect your stopping distances, and it's always very subtle, but it's why I tell people don't compare this to my. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna compare it to my 203 from a few days ago, just to prove. So I'm gonna add it to this analysis.
Don't compare this. C. Said instantly compares it.
Well, because I'm gonna prove. So like this track temp was 30 degrees, so it was 7 degrees Celsius less. It was a lot cooler outside, and there was little to no wind. And if we look at all of that, let's see, will it actually show up? Yeah, there it goes. Look at my purples. You can see I hit a top speed of 267. So like I was hitting a 269 on the really windy day. With no wind, I was hitting a 267. So that 2 kilometers of difference, 2 kilometers an hour difference doesn't seem like it really matters, but it does affect your stopping distance, your ability to like brake and everything else. Like everything is just a little shifted because yeah, it was a faster lap, but at the same time it was a cooler lap. I had more grip. I wasn't going as fast down that straight. But in comparison, if you look at the other straight in sector 1, or I guess sector 2, here I was hitting on this fast lap, I was hitting 238, but today I was hitting 233. So there's a 5 kilometer an hour difference down this first straight just from the wind itself. There's no headwind. So the headwind was making me 5 kilometers an hour slower, and I could have also had, a bad exit on that first turn comparatively, but it does really affect everything. So when I tell people
Said well is 11 meters over a 20-second straight beaming face with smiling eyes.
yeah, like it probably doesn't mean much, but this is why I tell people don't compare times from another day on another track with different track usage and different temperatures and everything else, because every single day is going to be different. So focus on what you did that day. Focus on today's laps. Why was I so much slower on this lap than on this lap? But don't try to look at my super overall fastest record time and be like, oh man, I was hitting 6 on the straight. So why? It's like right here, you can see I actually got up into 6th gear because I was going a little bit faster and I was at the top of 5th. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting at the moment, but I think you get it. I think you understand. The time delta is crazy. Like, how am I just so much faster through here? Oh, yeah. If you look at the time delta from... Let's get rid of the slow lap. Just look at this time delta. I got a much cleaner exit, much faster exit because I had way more grip. And then I just barreled down the straight. I got a half a second off on the straight on my fastest ever lap just because I also didn't have a headwind and I just had more grip because of how cool the track was. Like that's a whole half a second. Anyway, I like telemetry. It's cool. Telemetry fun. Yeehaw. And all that stuff.
C. Said thank though.
Yeah. You're welcome for watching my shitty driving.
C. Said no death though.
No death, though. For now. I will share this event. I think this event is public. I don't
C.
even tell.
Said which at Bathurst is good.
Well, that Bathurst is amazing. How many times did we die last year? I feel like it was like more than a dozen. But that was mostly the rain's fault.
C. Said to be fair. C. Said you were underwater.
Yeah. Not good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for joining. Bye.
C. Said right I'm